Hey guys, here is Dimitri Wakov with the 21st episode of my video series Mindshift. As some of you know, the purpose of Mindshift is to help you create atomic shifts in your mind so that you can maximize your energy, performance, and satisfaction in life. Today, I'm super delighted to welcome our Mindshifter. This is Laura. She's from Lithuania. And she actually is one of the most brightest and positive people I know. But there is one thing, not one, there are many things about her which are special, but there is one thing which we're going to focus today, and this is change. And I would say that Laura is the embodiment of change in life, and she loves it and she thrives in it. So I'm really looking forward to hear her secrets around change. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now it's my time to speak, right?
You can share about who you are. Just briefly introduce yourself.
That's good. I have to make sure because I have a tendency to get too excited. So okay,
Yeah.
This is me now. First of all, super nice. I was like listening to you. It's beautiful. I'm super happy to be on your show.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for this beautiful introduction. I was sitting and I was realizing, I'm wearing something green. I'm like a chameleon. Chameleon? How do you say it in English?
Yeah, chameleon. Yeah.
Chameleon. That is changing, accordingly to what's needed. In terms of a little introduction about me, so the most important things you said, my name and where I come from. So a little beautiful country, Lithuania. Professionally, I am a brand manager. I mainly have experiences from consumer goods. I worked almost 4 years with a healthy snacking industry, organic food, which I adore. I love. It's great to be healthy. And personally, I love traveling, but traveling in the sense that I love moving. I have to say, I've said that many years ago, that for me, traveling just 1 week to a new place, it doesn't really do it. Like I really like to challenge myself, just move to a new country for different reasons and see how I swim, really. So now something I want to say that I've actually counted in the past 9.5 years that I live abroad. I have lived in 6 different countries, which
Wow.
Because it's like, it's not to brag about it, but it's really something that I think defines me and something that makes me so happy and challenges me at the same time. So I've been in Australia, Philippines, Denmark. I lived many years. Of course, my own country, Lithuania, Spain, which was totally my passion project. And now I just moved to France. So that's a new one.
Wow, that's fascinating how you are, it's not everyone can do that. And change is, it seems that it's your brand name in a way. But tell me about change, Laura. I mean, what about change is important for you and excites you? Because it seems that you really like it.
Yeah, I think, I think nothing is really black or white to start with. I have to be honest, like, it's true, I love changes. I really feel comfortable. I think one of the reasons is I feel I'm living. This is my little fetish or big fetish, whatever you frame. It's really the feeling that, God, I'm alive. Like, I feel it. Something is happening. Because you want it or not. I mean, when there is a big change in your life, you know it. So I love that feeling alive. I think I love that there is always things to learn. When there is a change in your life, again, it's not a choice, it's a default that you will learn, you will change. And the good thing is, of course, now I'm being maybe a bit optimistic, but mostly you can actually pick and choose a little bit what you learn from it, because now I'm speaking mainly from the perspective of moving to new countries, where yes, it's not all that, roses. There are challenges, there are days I don't want to be doing what I'm doing, but in the end, it's all worth it. And what I said in the beginning, that, okay, I have to be honest, it's just to say that, of course, there are changes that I choose. They're usually much more fun and adventurous, as opposed to the changes that are implied on me sometimes, which, again, as per definition, are more challenging, because when you choose something, you are more willing to go through that, hard work of establishing yourself, take it a new country. But sometimes, you see, so this is just to open, I think, a conversation that just because I love changing, it doesn't mean I'm not challenged sometimes, because not all of them come by my choice.
So when something is coming by not your choice, because I guess when you are really excited about change, it's way easier to go through it, right? You share it, you said it. But what about when change is not desirable for you? How do you handle that?
Okay, I'm just trying to think of some examples in my head. I think I'm a person that when I know a change is coming, I'm always excited. At that point, yeah, I might be emotional, but all in all, I am, I think, excited. The difference happens in the going. Always there are challenges. When it's something you have chosen, I think it's just much more easier to fall back on the why. Why am I, wait a second, why am I going through this? And my family, they are the best. When I call my mom and I cry and I say, Spain is just too hard, this language and all these things. And then she's like, okay, move back home. And I'm like, what do you mean move back home? She's like, you chose that. And I'm like, she's goddamn right, So this is one thing, motivation. When the change is implied on you, I think when the going gets hard, it's a little bit more challenging to find the why, but I think I still do exactly the same process. I go back, because even if it's not my choice, now it's an advice for someone how to be more comfortable with changes. Is what I do is I still find the way to see the situation that motivates me. If it was, for example, my work moving to a new city and that happened, I moved along because I love my job. Did I lose things? Yes, it was actually, I moved from Aarhus like this. You remember very well, I think, when I was crying in the coffee shop, how emotional I was to leave what I love. But I knew, I'm going with a company that I love. The point is to find a way to see the situation that is motivating to you, and to find that reason before the change happens, even though it wasn't your choice. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. You try to find the why, I guess, if you don't have it prepared before. Like before, as I understand, what you do is whenever you have chosen the change, you have created your why. You can come up with your why before that. But after the change was imposed on you, you have the way to find the why, which helps you to go through the change in more fluently, I guess.
Absolutely.
But is it about the priorities? How do you find your why, actually? When you say why, so do you put like because it seems to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for you the work you love in a way was a higher priority this time than the other things.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's as simple as that. Yes, and I think I like that you said at that time. It's not to say it's not now, but I'm just saying I think there is a time and a place for everything in life, and 100% it's true what you said. Another thing I do, which I think also answers why I love change so much, is I always fall back on my values, which I have established probably 5-6 years ago. And I'm trying to review them once in a while, and I just keep concluding the same values that I have. And so one of the 3 ones I have is progress. I can just tell all three because
Yeah,
actually
of
they're
course.
all about the change. So one is progress, constant
Yes.
progress, constant growing, transforming, reshaping. Second is authenticity. And that's the one when we discussed, I remember you asked me, what do you mean by authenticity? So I'm going to explain it now. Authenticity in the sense that, you know, being proud of who you are, not being afraid of following your intuition, following your heart, even if you are seen as different, weird, exotic, whatever you call it. So authenticity in the sense, you know, this is my life, this is my choice. If it's not, I know why I'm doing, and you know what, I'm happy about it and I'm proud of it. Boom, done. And the
Lovely.
last one, joy, enjoying what you're doing. So look at this: progress, authenticity, and joy, all three factors that you can always find in any kind of change.
Lovely.
If you know how to, of course, see it as a joy. Again, now I'm on the very optimistic side. There are changes like the one I'm mostly scared about is losing someone, like someone passes away. Let's not even discuss that topic because thankfully I haven't had these experiences. But this type of change, it's a separate thing. Do you know what I mean? So just not to be too pink, I think, in the way I speak.
No, but that's lovely. I love the idea of the values because values always you can, as you said, you can apply them in any situation. So tell me, we've spoken about you know, changing countries and stuff or jobs, but isn't change way bigger than that? Like, isn't it that we change all the time? That there is all constant flux in us. Like, it doesn't matter, it is our beliefs, our priorities change. I guess at some point also our values can change. And isn't personal growth exactly to that? For that is that we really go into a place where we are ready to change, and I would say even to become more of who we are, but this implies some change. So have you noticed this in your life? How do you handle this? Because I guess it happened the last several years in your life, because you're in your 20s, and I guess
29.
this years are very defining for someone.
Extremely.
Yeah. So how did you handle, and did you have this kind of changes of your character, of your personality, or whatever?
Extreme changes. I mean, dramatic, radical. Okay, maybe it shouldn't be me saying I would like someone who knows me for 10, 20 years, you know, to say these things because, but okay, it's me and you, we are the stars of the show. So I think the past 10 years I've changed a lot from within. And I think, yeah, I don't even know where to start. I have so many things like you were speaking. I think first of all, the change can happen from within, or it can come from outside of you. In any case, I think it always is a combination. You always have to synchronize your internal stuff that's going on and your external environment. So whichever starts the process, does it really matter? No, probably, because I think, let's say in terms of moving, when I move, I have to look inside of me so much to really enjoy the change and to really accept some things that I don't want to accept and things like that. So I have to change inside 100%. And when you decide if you're a person, like I guess most of the people that are following you are, that want to grow, they want to do more in life, they don't want to just sleep and hope destiny will happen, which is bullshit, I'm sorry. Yes, destiny might happen, but please, you know, get up and help your destiny. So
I like that. Please get up and help your destiny. That's can be put as a quote here.
There
Yeah.
you go for it. Yeah, so what I was saying, if the change starts from within, what we see often the environment starts changing because you become a different person. Very, very popular one is if you're at the early stage of your personal growth journey, often you review the people you're hanging out with, things like that. You sometimes change a job actually because you have just realized that you weren't who you should be. You know what I mean? So yeah, could be both. Did I answer my question? Because I have a tendency to.
Yeah, I mean it's a great. I mean you shared experiences about that. So my personal, my personal idea here is that change is, as you said, it's happening from outside, from inside. It can come from our desire to become better or to become the better version of ourselves. It can come from that, and that's personal growth about. And as you said, can come from outside. For example, big events like losing job or changing country or breakup. All of these events imply these changes in yourself. And I would like to ask you here now. Sometimes when we go through a breakup or losing job, I think these are the two very painful things for people, especially breakup. How do you handle this change? Because sometimes this change is not very desirable, right? You're in love, you have a great time with the other person, you feel good, you have plans, you have future together, and at some point you decide together, or some of you decides that this is the end. Or you had a great job. I mean, you can choose one of them, whatever you feel like.
Yes.
Because the other one is too true. Like you have a great job, you feel that you have future, everything, development. At some point, you are laid off or something. So here, I think people struggle the most in this kind of change because it's a big one, and very often there is a lot of pain which is with it.
Yeah. Been there in both situations, in some couple many times. I mean, which is great. I think it's life, and I think it's great. We have to experience different things, and I think those who do, I think we are blessed in a way, because it you want it or not, it makes you a better version of yourself, because once again you have to fight for something. Now you just lost something comfortable, be it a relationship, a job, or whatever. I think the first thing I really, really, really like to do, of course, again, there are stages, I think, of these type of situations. There are stages you're denying, refusing, this is not my life, this is take it easy, it will change, all these things. So it depends on the situation. I cannot generalize, but let's be open. Yes, there are moments, right? But let's say when you're over that part, the one that really works for me in terms of, to be honest, I think both. When I have done everything I can to have what I want, right? So whatever, relationship, job, I try, right? At some point, I think if it still doesn't work, if it's still over, I say, okay, thank you, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, thank you, that person, or thank you, the situation. Now it's time for me to trust that someone higher than me knows better what is good for me.
Wow.
Some people could be, okay, relax, go back to your church. It doesn't matter what it is, but we all should have, and I hope we have faith in something. And I think this is super powerful, because practically what you have to do is accept the situation. If you really try, then you cannot change. But this is kind of higher level, I think, that really helps to frame it. Wait a second, I don't realize it now, but the cliche one, how do we say it? Like, everything happens for a reason, someone knows better than me. Thank you for this opportunity. I will take it. I'll clean my tears and I will move on. I mean, yeah, recently my company closed that I love to bits. I mean, that job was my lifestyle, not life, because I don't want to sound like, I was drowned. No, it was a lifestyle. I absolutely loved it. But the first reaction was I cried. Great. I mean, the whole normal. But that was not so much about the job. It was like such a part of my identity. Like we had a great team, great products, everything. And then like even my boyfriend was like, you're so relaxed. I say, yeah, because well, I can't change it. So I just got excited about the change of it. Like I was like, okay, great. What comes next? And at that time I was just moving to France. So for me, it was like probably great timing. Well, I still don't know yet. I mean, I'm still trying to, find my identity, but this is my point. Even something that I truly loved, it was like, okay, I take it. And I'm sure one way or another, it will work out for a better,
Yeah. So I would like to ask you one question which came up during what you shared. How do you know that you gave everything?
Good one. Yeah, I love it. Let me think actually, because I don't want to just say words for saying, First, that comes to my mind, give it time. Like, of course, if it depends on the situation, but let's say, example, breaking up where you were actually discussing that, I think on this one, I would always say, or leaving a job or leaving a country, actually anything you decide is never rush, I think, into these decisions. Give it time. First, second time you want to leave, third time don't. Not because I suggest not to follow your heart. It's not what I suggest. It's more because I believe sometimes we are confused. We think we know, but we don't. It's hormones, is whatever environment, like great COVID. We can, of course, pay respect to the COVID-19 virus now. We have to, it's this period. Yeah, but environment. So first, give it time and space for the idea to mature. As I say, sleep on it, I think, it's a really good point, Dim. It's super important. I would also say try different things. Just because you tried one thing and you tried hard, it doesn't work. Probably you not necessarily have tried your best. So try alternatives. Do it like a bit of your, project. So alternatives, give it time. Give yourself also time to reflect in the good state of mind. Like Tony Robbins loves to say that, first get into the good state of mind and then do everything else. So give yourself time to go for walks and to take the decision. It's amazing because I'm actually really good at taking fast decisions, like for big things. But I think this is something I'm learning also in this new period. Like, give things time. I think
That's a great idea about the time, and just to try several times and see what is going to happen. Do you have a certain process? You shared several things you do around change, but let's say that change is decided. You have decided this is going to be a change in my life. I'm okay with it. You shared first about the why. I guess this is very important for you, why you are making the change. But I guess even if you have a why, you should have some process through this change. So it helps you to go faster and I guess more fluent throughout this change. Do you have something like this?
Yeah, the one I thought about now, I have a really good one to take a decision. So let's start. I know you want me to speak after I've taken a decision, but
okay,
I will take a step. No, because I have a one that could be useful for everyone.
Okay.
Do you know this feeling when inside of you start getting a certain idea for a certain decision, a change, or whatever it is? And then, as we said, sleep on it, give it time, space. We do that, right? At some point, you're like, okay, it's just been. It could be you have a deadline to take a decision. It could be you just feel, okay, man, it's been 1 year. You're sleeping on this idea. and it keeps popping, so maybe you should take a decision. I have a really good one which I developed when I took a decision to move to Spain. I call it 15 minutes rule.
Okay.
And it could be like, for me it's breakfast. I say, Laura, now you have, I don't care what it is, because you know this feeling, okay, we have to be fully prepared to take a decision. Never we are fully prepared. So my rule is, when I feel it's time, I tell everyone, okay, now you give me 15 minutes, I go to my room. In that case, I ate my oatmeal porridge. 15 minutes, I sit, think, and at the end of my oatmeal porridge, I have to have a decision. I don't care. 15 minutes rule. And that's how I decided to move to Spain. And it was great.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, there is a background work to do.
Yeah,
I'm not
of course.
saying go crazy, you know? Okay. Now, so your question is if I have any process for what exactly?
I mean,
To,
you made a change. I mean, you decided 15 minutes. You decided I'm going to Spain or whatever. So after that, you do you have some process to go through that? Because I guess even though you have decided, there are some internal processes, some emotions inside, some you could say, of course, some logistics, everything. You have so many things around change. Do you do that, or you go with the flow? So I mean, both of them, I guess some people do one, the other people the other one. But do you have something you're going through, processing your emotions, your mental state, or the things you have to do like physically?
yeah. So I think, yes, both emotional and practical stuff. I think first of all, when once you take a decision, you own it. You get all excited. You become a project manager of this project. You internalize. So that's my first step always. Get excited, like, oh my god, I'm doing it. Oh my god. Okay, yes. What's, so this is the mood I'm doing it with. What I don't do, and this is, I think that's also why I change easily. I don't overthink what difficulties I will have when I am in
That's a
the
good one.
change. That's a good one to take a decision for a change,
Yes.
but that could be a challenging one because that reality will still hit you and you're like, God damn it, how did that happen, you know? And then my friends are the best, like my family, they're like, yeah, but what do you think? You just moved to, for example, a new country. Of course you have these problems. And I'm like, if only I knew. But then I said, no, if I knew, I probably would be, you know, one of those. Okay.
Yes.
So that's what I don't do, is I don't overthink. You have to think, Demi. I don't want to say like, okay, but I don't overthink, because I think overthinking kills the creativity, the motivation of taking that leap, you know, taking that step. So I don't overthink. I get excited. I think I take my phone. I use my phone a lot for taking notes. List of practical stuff to do. Take kind of start, you know, snowball effect. Start moving one thing, the butterfly effect. Start doing one thing practically, and next and next and next and next. So practical stuff, very important. Inform people. I like that one as well, because then really there is no way back. Like, hey, I'm a person who's moving to Spain. Hey, so at that time, of course, let people know. Why? Because also people can help you to remember what else needs to be done. Making sure, I think, everything you wanted to experience in your current situation and the whole point why you're here, where you are, make sure it's all done. So it can be applied to anything, being single, being in relationship, being in one country, one job. Make sure everything, let's say, for example, you're single and you're taking a decision to be in a relationship. Okay, it's a bit random, but you know what I mean. Make sure, okay, I mean, is everything okay and clean with my current situation? You know, maybe moving to a new country is a better idea, because then you're like, okay, goodbye parties, and you know what I mean. So make sure about current situation. Yeah, so I said, get excited, get done practical stuff, let people know, make sure you are done with the current situation. Yeah, have a last day, as I say, like your whatever your rituals are, a goodbye party, or going for a walk in your favorite, you know, place of the city, getting a coffee, or having a conversation with your relationship when you're discussing to finish. You know what I mean. And then boom, new life. Favorite quote, I'm gonna say it now. I say, empty yourself and let the universe fill you.
Wow.
This is the one I move with always. I move in, like, open my heart, clean, empty, new experience. Show me what's there for me, you know, to experience, and really get rid of being in the control, because change, as per definition, requires you to lose control and to swim in that new water and see the person you become on the other side, you know.
That was a good one.
Yeah, and there will be tough times. Know whom to call. I think it's also know whom to call, or know whom to listen to, or what book to read, or what ritual to have, meditation or drinking your coffee or whatever. When the going gets tough, how to come back to the good energy with which you took the decision.
Lovely, Laura. So tell me, have you thought of the biggest misconception about change?
Misconception. Well, the thing I think about is also the popular one. We are not comfortable with the unknown. But misconception in what sense?
I mean, you have heard something about change. For example, some people maybe say change is bad, or maybe change is hard, or whatever people think about change, which you believe is not true about change.
I think, what do I think? Well, I think there is, of course, a price you pay. But I don't know, but I agree with that. You know, like, for example, if you're a person who loves changes, you're often automatically not a person who's very stable.
Okay.
And with that, yeah, maybe I have a good one. You are 29 and you're not married yet. What are you doing with your life? What? You're I'm like, hello, I have this and this and this and this, and the person I am, and I'm pretty happy. I'm actually happy. Does anyone care if I'm happy, or do you just care I'm not married yet? Yeah, I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it's within this topic.
Okay.
Do you have something in mind, Dimi? Because when you ask the question, you probably know what you want, what you would answer.
I would say that for me, for example, people who like certainty, they say that change is unnecessary. You know, some people just say that change is unnecessary, it's just pain in the ass or something like this. And I would say that this misconception, which I could say that also had, and people stagnate in this way. And sometimes this belief is not conscious. They can say, yeah, change is good, everything is change. But inside, people believe deeply that it's not necessary, it's unstable, it's insecure when you have changes. And what I would say is that if we don't make changes in life, life will really force changes in our life. And this is what I definitely believe whenever people stagnate. And that's when we have a lot of fear. Because when you believe that change is not necessary, you try to escape any changes, then you start getting a lot of fear around it, and you try to control everything, as you said. So this is the biggest trouble we have when we believe in this thing, because then we get, cling to everything which we feel is stable, and we lose sight of life, because life is change.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And I think this one also often happens because people, everyone, I think including me sometimes, like, because it's hard to see that other change life, because what you have now is physical, like you see it and you know it, and it's, even if it's okay, not so good, well, I'm afraid there will be, I think it's sometimes a difficulty of visualizing how that change will look like, that also makes people scared. So that, we are all afraid of the unknown. Me, I think I'm excited about the unknown. But then again, I think what I was also contemplating on, like, now, I think everyone, I hope, I like to believe that everyone likes changes, maybe in the certain small area of their lives. For example, me, let's say, in terms of technology, I mean, I have my phone, and if you tell me, hey, there is a new iPhone 12, I think now I would be, no, this is unnecessary. I have things to do. I don't want to bother myself with the new iPhone. My phone is functioning. Do you see? It's exactly what you said. I think it's unnecessary. Do I think, I'm open to discuss. Yeah, it cannot kill me. It's not a bad, it cannot be a bad thing for me. I am just saying, I don't want to spend time on this for the moment because I prefer to invest my energy in other things. So probably these people think exactly the same what I would probably say about the latest iPhone. They think as long as their life is okay functioning, why do they need to waste energy? Waste, I'm saying, in their perspective.
Cool. Yeah. Cool, Laura. So thank you for sharing all of these beautiful things about change. And it was great conversation. I'm sure people will hear many great things there, and it can help them with getting excitement about change and getting true changes in life. So one thing before we go, I want to ask you, what is your message towards people? Give me your, it doesn't have to be with change. It can be with change if you want, but just because here in Mindshift, the most important is that helping people, as I said at the beginning, to create these shifts in their mind so that they can become more energetic, perform in a better way, and become more satisfied in life. Do you have a message you can give these people which can boost all of these things, or some of them?
Yeah, I have a lot of messages. This is one of those you should have mentioned. So I would have thought about the one, but yes, of course. I think the one I'll say to you all, life is for living. And that's my message.
Life is for living.
Life is for living.
I love that.
Cool, Laura. Feel you're living alive. And practical message, if anyone wants to speak, if anyone wants to change and they're afraid, or if someone likes my energy, I don't know, just a humble comment, they're very welcome to ask you for my contact, and I would be happy to have like a little conversation, phone call or something, just if I could be that little gentle push for someone to be a better version or to make that change. I would be blessed to be in that position. So you're very, very welcome to contact. Yes.
Yeah. Where is the best place you can be contacted? I mean, which is the preferred place for you?
Preferred place, LinkedIn, I think.
LinkedIn. Okay. So I'm gonna put a link after we post the video on LinkedIn so people can find you there if they want to contact you anyway.
Yes.
Lovely, Laura. Thank you very much. I'm super happy that you were here and you shared all the information about change and your energy. So I'm sure that will be not the last time we are going to do something together and we are going to influence people in a positive way. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited, and let's see what comes next.